Straight ahead on CCX News, back to the school board. More protests planned in the Osseo district over how board members get elected. But not everyone believes the current system is broken. Plus, there's Black Friday, but don't forget about Small Business Saturday. We stop by local retailers to show how that day really makes a difference. And later, call it a maze of minions, the unique way a local school helps kids get exercise. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. A group calling for changes in the way Osseo school board members are elected is planning a return visit to the school board meeting this week.
Eric Nelson joins us now with more on this. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, Tuesday night school board meeting could be a repeat of what we saw in October. Back then, the group staged a silent protest as they tried to make a point about a system they believe is not fair to all students. Last month, protesters showed up with blue masking tape across their mouths and stood directly in front of school board members during the meeting.
We are recessed once again.
Eventually, the board chair cut things short. The group wants the board to consider single-member districts for those elected to the school board, instead of the current at-large system, which they say is not in the best interest of all students. Now the group promises to come back on Tuesday night with even more protesters.
So we were just trying to get their attention because they said they would not put this item on a school board agenda, so we had to figure out some way to do that. Tomorrow night we're expecting those parents and probably a lot more of them to come back because the people in the community are really concerned about this, and so we expect a large turnout of residents of the district at the meeting tomorrow night.
Roxanne Smith says her group is collecting 10,000 signatures that could force an election on the single-member district issue. Meanwhile, others have a different take on this topic. They say that the candidates who ran for the board fared extremely well in Brooklyn Park precincts and received the most votes. They feel the Brooklyn Park voice has been represented quite strongly.
In fact, in the 2016 election, there were 10 candidates. I believe 5. A large portion of them were from Brooklyn Park, so we had the opportunity to vote for Brooklyn Park residents if that's what was important to us. And yet we voted for other candidates based on the platform that they were running on, based on the solutions that they were bringing forward. So we really feel
now, currently there are 5 residents from Maple Grove and 1 from Osseo on the school board. According to TANYA Simons, if Brooklyn Park residents could only vote for board members from that city, then 2 of the top 3 vote getters in Brooklyn Park in the last election would not have been elected. Alex and Mike.
All right, thank you. Well, drivers might have noticed a delay on County Road 81 and Bass Lake Road in Crystal today. A weekend car crash severely damaged some equipment and the traffic signal at the intersection. Hennepin County hopes to have it repaired by the end of the day on Wednesday. Until then, the intersection will operate as an all-way stop.
Brooklyn Park is looking at making improvements to City Hall, improvements that could cost up to $4 million over the next 2 years. The City Hall building is about 25 years old. The last time it had improvements done was in 2012 with the remodeling of the service counter and conference room. A previous building study recommended replacing windows, making mechanical and boiler improvements, and putting in new furniture. But those recommendations never went forward as the city was in the midst of leadership changes. Brooklyn Park City Hall is the only city facility in Brooklyn Park without a major remodel in the last 10 years. The City Council is expected to decide on what improvements get made at its meeting coming up on December 4th.
Golden Valley officials this week may go on record in support of bus rapid transit service on 2 highways. The projects are not yet in planning done by the Metropolitan Council, but this would be the first step. One route could be along Highway 169, another on Highway 55 with 4 stops in Golden Valley. Bus rapid transit routes are typically faster than regular routes with fewer stops overall and ticket machines that allow customers to buy tickets before boarding. Golden Valley's comprehensive plan supports increased transit options and redevelopment in the downtown area along Highway 55. Well, this Thanksgiving holiday is expected to be one of the busiest for travel in more than a decade.
Reporter Sonia Goins has the good, the bad, and the ugly of holiday travel.
AAA projects that 50.9 million Americans are going to be traveling for this Thanksgiving.
Whether you're traveling by plane, train, or you will
will have plenty of company.
And that is the highest travel volume we've seen in about a dozen years for Thanksgiving.
The travel center was busy with people buying luggage, maps, and other things to make their trip more enjoyable.
I go back home to see my family, so my mom, my sister, and then extended family as well.
Jean Perez is headed to Rhode Island for Thanksgiving. And although airline tickets are the lowest they've been in years, she missed out on the travel deals.
This year I waited a little too late, so it probably around $500 to go 2 hours across country. So,
and the highways and byways are going to be busy too. 89% of all travelers are planning road trips between Wednesday and Sunday. Folks hitting the road can expect to pay more at the pump. This time last year, gas was about 50 cents less per gallon.
I'm going to Onamia.
Lauren Pacey filled up her tank at this New Hope gas station. She's got an hour-and-a-half drive before she gets a turkey dinner.
The high gas prices don't really affect me. I mean, they do a little bit, but I just am used to driving around.
These are the highest Thanksgiving gas prices since 2014.
I think it's ridiculous, a bit much when you're traveling for the holidays.
Andrea Boyle from Brooklyn Park is headed to Rochester to spend the holiday with her daughter.
She's cooking dinner, so that's the first time for us as grandparents.
Although pump prices are higher, people we talk with say you can't put a price tag on spending the holiday with family and friends.
Gas prices is something you just configure in your budget.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
AAA says travel by trains, buses, and even cruises is expected to increase nationwide by nearly 1.5 million travelers. Experts say with an improved economy, people are spending more money on travel.
Speaking of money, if you bought a Powerball ticket in Robbinsdale on Saturday, better check your numbers. The Minnesota Lottery says someone bought a ticket at the Robbinsdale Food Market on West Broadway that had 5 numbers right. It's a ticket worth $1 million. So far, nobody has turned it in. They have a year to claim the prize. And by the way, after taxes, that ticket will be worth $677,500. Let's hope they didn't throw it out in the trash.
Let's hope so. Not bad for the holidays, right?
That'd be great. Still ahead on CCX News, an important day coming up for local mom and pop retailers.
Plus highlights from the finals of the State Girls Swimming and Diving Championships. That's coming up in sports.
But first, windy and much colder on Tuesday.
As you prepare for holiday shopping, advocates ask you to consider picking up a gift for a senior.
Now, for the first time, you can find the trees for the Be a Santa to a Senior program at the West Metro Fire Station near the New Hope Hy-Vee. Ornaments on the tree inside the door describe the very modest items isolated or low-income seniors in Crystal and New Hope are asking for. For some seniors, this may be the only gift they receive this holiday season.
It's not just the gift, it's really the gift of companionship and having someone reach out to you during the holidays is really important.
There's also a tree at the Crystal Starbucks and at all Lund's and Byerly's locations. If you take an ornament and buy the gift, then return it to the fire station by December 9th so it can be delivered in time for Christmas. Retailers are gearing up for the holiday shopping season with Black Friday just a few days away.
Since 2010, Black Friday has been followed, of course, by Small Business Saturday. And this year, independent merchants are hoping they're on your shopping list.
These are just so they're technically a camping mug, but people love them because of the size.
From coffee mugs to clothing and jewelry, Minnesota pride is on display at Flaunt Accessories in Maple Grove. And right now, it's showtime.
November is our biggest month of the whole year. So we ramp up for that. We just came off of our 7-year anniversary party, which was Friday night.
Situated among dozens of other national retailers at the shops at Arbor Lakes, Melissa Hardin's boutique is one of about 10 independently owned small businesses at the shops. At Flaunt Accessories, Hardin not only depends on customers shopping local, she also supplies half of her store with local merchandise.
For us, we support a lot of small businesses within the shop. So we have over 20 local artists. So that means Minnesota makers that are actually in here that create a product and they use, that is their livelihood.
As many big box retailers entice shoppers with Black Friday deals, it's Small Business Saturday that helps fuel the local economy. Last year, more than 112 million consumers spent a total of $15.4 billion with independent merchants nationwide. And there's perks to shopping small business.
All of our employees are great. I mean, they know everything about every product in the store as opposed to someone who just knows where it is in the store. So if you have questions about board games or toys, that kind of thing, you're going to get that kind of experience when you come here.
At Grey Duck Games and Toys, also in the shops at Arbor Lakes.
This is a shutter yo-yo from Yo-Yo Factory. As you can see, it plays very nicely.
You're encouraged to play with the merchandise.
These are our juggling clubs. These are called Delphins, actually, but they're just your standard juggling club.
Small business owners know they have an advantage when it comes to building relationships with their customers. And that's a gift that's especially valuable this time of year.
Once you build that relationship and that foundation, I think there's like a loyalty piece too.
And both small businesses we visited are offering store-wide deals on Saturday ranging from 20 to 30% off. Up next, the Minions visit one Brooklyn Park Elementary School, see how they've made one gym class pretty special.
But first, a local adapted soccer team shoots for another championship. We'll have the highlights from the title game. John Jacobson is in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. Saturday was championship day at the state adapted soccer tournament. A local team shot for its third consecutive championship in the CI division. Park Center playing Chaska in the CI final. Philip Wardsey carries it up the left side for Park Center, and he rips that shot in. That ties it 1-1. Alfred Kona gets his steal and lines it up for a shot that gets through for a goal, and the Pirates grab a 2-1 lead. Wardsey wins the battle near midcourt. He goes long distance this time, sneaking it in on the short side. That makes it 5-2 Park Center. Second half, Wardsey stopped in front, but Jose Gutierrez Peralta sticks with it. He scores, and the Pirates have a 6-3 edge. Wardsey has a big game. He scores 6 goals in all. Park Center wins its third straight CI soccer title, 11-4.
It's been a war to me, everything. Like, you know, win 3 times in a row, right? So it's me everything. I mean, everything to me. I mean, everything. Like, it mean the whole wide world to me.
I lost all 3 of my defensive players and my goalie last year to graduation, so we were just hoping to be a 500 team this year, hoping that we would play well enough to get back to the state tournament, and never in my wildest dreams did I think we'd be sitting here with first place medals.
In the PI division, the Robbinsdale Hopkins Mound-Westonka Robins dominated for many years, winning 7 straight soccer titles from 2008 to 2014. After taking the softball title in the spring season, they aim for a soccer championship, facing Dakota United in the final. The Robins do strike first in this game. Calvin Gert sends the pass to Marcus Brady. His shot gets through for a 1-0 Robins lead. Late in the first half, Riley Wisniewski sticks with it for Dakota. He banks a shot in off the defender, and that ties it up 1-1. It's a low-scoring game, and Dakota gets the winner as Cooper Wilson steals the outlet pass, and his shot just trickles over the goal line and in. Robins have to settle for second place with a 2-1 loss. Park Center took third, and Anoka Hennepin won the consolation title. Championships were up for grabs at the state girls swimming and diving meet as well over the weekend. Lake Conference teams did very well at the Class AA meet. The University of Minnesota, the site for the championships, 200 medley relay. Minnetonka wins. Cindy Zhao anchors Wayzata to a second place finish. 200 freestyle, Edina's Kelly McCarthy and Ashley Post are 1 and 2, and Armstrong sophomore Sierra Smith takes third place. In diving, Wayzata senior Ellie Morrison is the top local finisher. She takes 6th place. Wayzata's Jordan McGinty was disqualified on prelim day from the individual medley, but she swims well on the 100 freestyle, finishing second to Roseville's Piper Dew. 100 butterfly is a very close race. Hopkins junior Molly Meelan takes gold with a time of 55.36 seconds. And we talked to Meelan and McGinty about their races at state.
In my mind, like through all my training and every single race that I swam this season, I was thinking about this race at this meet, and I was just pushing myself so hard to like get this outcome. The last turn,
my underwaters seemed like they're better than they usually are, I guess. And then at the end, looked like she just got me, but it was a really fun race, and both Rami and Piper are really good competitors of mine, so it was really fun.
Here are the final team scores in Class AA. Edina wins state for the second straight year. Runner-up is Minnetonka, and Wayzata is third. Late conference teams take the top 3 spots. Hopkins finished 15th. In Class A, Visitation wins for the 5th year in a row. Breck is the top local team in 4th place. The Mustang sailor Hawkins won the diving competition, with Taylor Williams of Benilde St. Margaret's racing to the 200 freestyle title. Girls hockey teams around the area have all played a handful of games so far. 2 of the best local teams, Maple Grove and Breck, faced off Saturday in a matchup of ranked teams. No scoring until the second period. Maya Martinez with a breakout pass for the Crimson to Manon McMahon. She'll drop it for Tristana Tater, and the freshman fouls her own shot to score on the rebound to give Maple Grove a 1-0 lead with that power play goal. Both goalies were solid all day. Breck's Ale Frantic makes a big stop late in the second period on Katie Denicky, one of 20 saves in the game for Frantic. Crimson goalie Lucy Morgan was very good. She finishes with 27 saves as Maple Grove wins 1-0. Crimson are now 2-1. They play at Armstrong Cooper on Tuesday. That is all for sports. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Well, you might have disliked gym class when you were in school, but chances are it was nothing like the class we are about to show you.
In fact, you could call it downright despicable.
This is Scooter World. We do Scooter World every single year, and we come up with a different theme, and what you see tonight behind me is basically our Minion theme.
Scooter World is a school-wide effort that is unique to Oxbow Creek Elementary. Teachers work and plan almost year-round to come up with the theme for the scooter maze, and this year's theme is those despicable scooters. Students get to exercise with the scooters at least 4 times during the days leading up to Thanksgiving. Teachers say it's a great way for kids to release their energy before getting back into the classroom.
There are 11 stations. Of those 11 stations, there are 11 exercises that they need to do. Well, if you just rode a scooter for the whole time through here, you'd be plenty tired, but adding those exercises definitely gets the students tired. They're building a lot of their core muscles, and they absolutely have fun, and they don't even realize that they're working hard.
It takes more than 10 hours on the weekend for volunteers to set up Scooter World. Students get involved too by creating artwork around the year's theme. And last year's theme was Star Wars, but they've also had Finding Dory, Frozen, Pumpkin Patch, and Jungle themes. What a neat way to get some, blow off some steam.
Cool,
right?
they're into it.
Yes, that does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Tuesday starting at 4.